Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to KMS Star Wars. I want to start off by thanking all the viewers who made our first episode such a great success, and obviously thanks to the Minners Minifan Network for giving us the platform. Thanks to all the views and success we had and how popular it is, we were able to increase our budget. We now have a better special effects department, shooting on location here in Indoor, and yeah, so we got a big show planned. The main part of the show, we're going to be talking about some KMS feuds that are going on in the Kirk Minhan show world and evaluating them through the lens of Star Wars. But first, I thought from all the great, we get some great viewer feedback. I thought we'd take some questions from the audience that has been sent in some feedback. So, without further ado, first question. Your show didn't have any credits. Who helped with all the producing and editing? It clearly was a laborious production. Well, thanks for noticing, and yes, it was. But I think you'll be shocked to find out that I was able to perform all the duties of producer, editor, director, writer, performer, all on my own. But thanks to the great success of episode 1, we now have an increased budget, and we've had some interns and producers along with us to help us for this episode. Next question. Was that trick editing, or was the show done all in one take? If so, did you hire the cinematographer from 1917 to help film? No. First of all, yes. It's very astute of you to notice that was all in one take. But I was able, as I said in the first question, I was able to perform all the tasks and duties myself with no help. But thank you for noticing. Next question. Are you concerned that you blew your whole show budget on the costume department? Well, I assume you must be talking about this Kylo Ren costume, and yes, it did take a lot of time, but very little money, because you'll be shocked to find out again that this costume is merely just a child's Halloween mask I stole from my son and hope he doesn't notice. Okay, next question. Where did you get your broadcast training and experience? I think you'll again be shocked to find out that I have zero professional broadcast training or experience. I'm just a natural at it. Are you really going to keep doing this? Yes. Next question. Really? These are all the questions we have? Okay. One more? Okay, one more. Are you trying to do a Kylo Ren impression, or do you just talk like a what? Okay, I'm sorry, my producer, Captain Phasma, is telling me it is, we're out of time for the question part of the show, so I don't have time to address that last question. So, let's move on. All right, let's get started with the main part of the show. We're discussing feuds in the KMS world, and this is one that sort of came out of nowhere. This is Cinema Lord versus Alice Shattuck. And how this started was with Steve from Gloucester's spoiling the Portland show to Fuss Daddy and everyone he could talk to before the show. And then when he got found out, he started this big spin cycle and tried to get the Shaddocks involved to cover for him and defend him. And then Cinema Lord was having none of it, so they get on the KMS show together to battle it out. And this battle was a lot like the Death Star versus Alderaan, because Alice didn't stand a chance. It's not really her fault, or for whatever reason why she was defending Steve, we don't know. But it didn't really have anything to go on. Cinema Lord just, destroyed her with the truth. He had truth on his side. So, yeah, not much of a battle. Quickly destroyed, along with all of the screaming children that she wants Cinema Lord to have in Alderaan, all completely wiped out. Very quick feud, but it was for a good show. Next up, we have a very long-running feud with lots of up and downs, and this is, of course, Minners versus John from Scranton. They've been friends, they've been enemies, they've been allies, they've been CEOs, and now it's the Minners Minifan Network versus KMS Network. So this is a very complicated feud. It's kind of like Palpatine and the Republic versus Dooku and the Separatists. Now, it's interesting because, they were feuding and warring the whole Clone Wars, but they were also secret allies. But they were also, Palpatine was secretly planning to replace Dooku with Anakin. So, I think we'll find this feud is still ongoing. There's no end to it, but in the end, I think we'll find that Minners is the evil genius who will have John from Scranton replaced with somebody new, somebody more powerful, somebody a little less druggy, most likely. So that feud is still ongoing, and we'll monitor it throughout the rest of the season. We have two more feuds, and this is interesting because they are both involve Coleman. So the first is Coleman versus disabled people. It's clear in the show that he hates them and he's evil and kind of an asshole, and they really can't defend themselves. This poor kid just wanted a muffin on his birthday. So this is a lot like here Coleman is Anakin and the disabled are the Jedi younglings, at Order 66 in episode 3. So, Anakin just, in probably the most tragic thing that's happened in the Star Wars universe, he slaughters all the Jedi younglings at the temple. And this is clearly what Coleman, would like to do to any disabled person he meets. So, a sad, tragic feud that Coleman and Anakin won, but hopefully it'll, turn around and Coleman will be destroyed. So that goes into our next feud, which is Coleman versus Mutt. Now this is a one that's ongoing, lots of ups and downs to it, and to keep some stability, I'm saying now Coleman has moved from Anakin into Darth Vader. Darth Vader has, some sort of killed Anakin and it has taken over. And Mutt here is really Obi-Wan, in Star Wars, Episode 4. He's, old man. He all he wants to do is sit in the desert and not work, not visit Luke, who lives like 2 miles away, a lot like Mutt's nephews, just right around the corner of the chicken place. But Obi-Wan hasn't seen him in years. He just wants to sit in his little cave and do whatever, living off the earth and the taxpayers. So eventually they battle, and when they do, Darth just destroys him and shows what a feeble old man that Mutt truly is. He just doesn't even put up much of a fight and just gets lightsabered and dissolves into nothing. So unfortunately, that is the way this Coleman and Mutt feud is going. It's really sad to look at the stage in his life. Remember the younger times when Mutt was irrelevant, but now he's just a feeble old man in a large brown cloak, dissolved into dust. That's all we have for this week. Thanks for coming back for episode 2 of KMS Star Wars, the Feud Edition. We'll hope to be back with more at some point.